Top 5 even funnier than you expect it to be, which is saying something. The comic centerpiece of Chris Rock's extremely enjoyable Top 5 is a sequence in which Andrew Allen, the famous comedian played by Rock, takes journalist Chelsea Brown Rosario Dawson to the housing project where he grew up. She's writing a profile for the New York Times. Back in Andrew's old neighborhood, Chelsea meets the friends and family Andrew has known forever, and these old acquaintances are played by a murderer's row of comic talent: Tracy Morgan, Leslie Jones, J. Pharaoh, Michael Che, Sherri Shepherd, Hassan Johnson aka Wee-Bey. Pharaoh has said that Rock put out a comedian's signal in the sky like Batman when casting the movie, which also features JB Smoove, Jerry Seinfeld, Regan, and other great stand-ups. But what's remarkable about the scene in the projects is not just how many funny people are assembled. It's that, even given that collection of talent, the scene is even funnier than you to expect it to be. It's more than the sum of its parts. It's a blast. The comics ripped each other, explained themselves to the interloping journalist, and argued about the best rappers of all time, the top 5 of the title. Rock, directing his third feature film and allowing much more improvisation than he has in the previous two, orchestrates the scene expertly. Here and elsewhere, Top 5 has a jaunty rhythm, credit for which goes not only to Rock and executive music producer Questlove, who's partly behind the pitch-perfect pop music choices that keep the movie humming, but also editor and McCabe, who cut both of Kenneth Lonergan's movies among many others. Rock has compared his performance in the project's scene to Double Dutch, him trying to find his way in as the jokes keep swinging by. It's a metaphor he likes. At another point in Top 5, we see snippets of Andrew and Chelsea walking and talking around New York City, including a shot, returned to multiple times, of Andrew trying to find his moment to jump past a girl's swing ropes by a playground. He never does. Chelsea leaves right in. Andrew is a self-consciously Woody Allen-ish role, most obviously akin to Sandy Bates, the filmmaker in Stardust Memories, whose fans preferred his earlier, funnier movies. That's the two central characters in a nutshell. Chelsea is daring, perhaps a little too much so, while Andrew, despite his success, is full of self-doubt. Best known for playing Hammett, the crime-fighting bear, a role mildly analogous, Rock acknowledges, to the zebra he voices in the lucrative Madagascar movies. Andrew is making a bid to be taken seriously with his new movie, Puppy Rise, in which he plays real-life Haitian revolutionary Dutty Bootman. Brief clips of Allen as Bootman make it amusingly evident that we, unlike the critics in the movie, are not meant to take it seriously. Top 5 transpires, Linklater-like, in a single day, with Andrew doing publicity engagements, running errands, and talking with Chelsea. Andrew and Chelsea are both recovering addicts, and they promise each other rigorous honesty, an unlikely pledge, of course, from a movie star to a celebrity profiler. This detail pales in comparison to later revelations, which let us know that Rock's take on journalism is not exactly reality-based, but that promise provides an excuse for the movie to present comic set pieces in the form of flashbacks to embarrassing moments in their respective pasts. Andrew narrates his bottom, the trip to Texas where he met the self-proclaimed motherfucking man in Houston, unforgettably embodied by Cedric the Entertainer. Chelsea, meanwhile, provides awkward bedroom details about her boyfriend in a tale that, along with an impressive bit of physical comedy by Anders Holm, carries an unfortunate whiff of homophobia. The Houston story ends on the sour note of false rape charges. Rock's sexual politics have never been as progressive as his shrewd, complex take on race in America. Dawson is terrific, making a complicated and slightly fantastical character seem like a real human being. Gabrielle Union accomplishes something similar, and with much less to work with, a role of Andrew's fiancée, Erica, who has a reality show on Bravo and whose upcoming marriage is meant to be a major media event, could have been a curdled Kim Kardashian caricature. But Union turns Erica's lack of talent into a reason to sympathize with her, explaining to Andrew that this superficial form of celebrity is all she got. We don't get a particularly deep understanding of her relationship to Andrew, but we do get a feel for the complicated relationship each of them has to fame. I began to wonder what Kanye West, who, along with Jay-Z, Scott Rudin, and Eli Bush, is a producer on the film, thinks of this storyline. And does Hammett look a little like the Dropout Baron? Probably. I'm reaching Rock's own performance is not quite as dynamic or assured as that of his female co-stars, but then his job is mostly to register introspection and bewilderment at the madness that frequently surrounds him. It's a self-consciously Woody Allen-ish role, most obviously akin to Sandy Bates, the filmmaker in Stardust Memories whose fans preferred his earlier, funnier movies. Andrew learns a lesson much like the one Sandy learns, though instead of hearing it from aliens, he infers it from a hilarious encounter featuring a cameo too good to spoil. And it's a testament to Rock's generosity as a performer and wisdom as a filmmaker that he seems happy to be upstaged by his supporting cast. He recently told Frank Rich that his own daughter has said, "Kevin Hart's funnier than you," which makes it all the more impressive that he cast Kevin Hart in his movie and then let Hart be funnier than him. That interview with Rich kicked off a wave of Q&As with such striking insights that Rock was finally dubbed America's real black president by Gawker. But Top 5 is not an opus ed. The movie probably makes its loudest statement about race simply by existing, an ambitious and personal film full of black stars, backed in part by black producers, written, directed by, and starring the hugely popular black artist. There is a scene in which a member of the NYPD puts a black man in a chokehold, which feels almost shocking in its timeliness, but which is mostly a reminder, if one were needed, that shit has been going on for a long time. It even has a long history in film and stand-up. Admittedly, the moment in a strip club when Jerry Seinfeld lists his top 5 to serve as a commentary on terrible white taste in rap music. But mostly it serves as an inspired punch line to a very good time at the movies.